Welcome to my YouTube channel. Dave Gandarillos here. I try to put out videos daily on ways to generate streams of income, and you can see by checking out my channel the different topics I make videos about. Be sure to click the subscribe and the little bell so you can get alerted by new videos. I am giving away a prize in a contest once we hit 2,000 subscribers. Also, make sure you look in the video description for timestamps so that you could jump ahead to specific topics of the video so you don't have to watch the whole video if you're short for time. And again, just look at the other information in the video description because it helps you understand what the video is about. And there's other information in there such as other videos linked to the same topic area and ways to contact me. So again, look in the video description for timestamps to jump ahead to specific topics of the video that you're interested in. Alright, so today I'm going to review a set of 4 cryptos that we've been looking at over time here. Cardano, Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Chainlink. So look in the video description for the timestamps for each one of those. In case you're interested in one in particular, you could jump ahead and take a look at it. Let's start with ETH. So over time, you know, chart patterns have played out, and you know your thing gets kind of messy. So sometimes you want to just kind of clear everything off and kind of start fresh. So that's what we're going to do here. Now, patterns have played out. Sometimes I like to keep them on here, but after a while it just gets to be too much and it gets cluttered and you kind of lose what the chart's all about. So a lot of times I just like to clear it all up and start fresh, look at the latest price action, come up with where we are right now based on what's happened, and then figure out a path forward. So if you're interested in all this stuff that I had on here, just look back in older videos and you can see what I've done. So what I want to show you right now on the 1 hour, there is a mini pattern under development. It's a bat pattern, and it goes from here. I gotta zoom in. Just start over. Alright. Actually, I didn't even have it on the right thing. I had it on... Alright, so cipher pattern. So you pick here to here to here to here, and then it's going to happen somewhere up here. We don't know yet. But it's under development, so it's nice to throw it on here, and you can kind of see where price action might go based on where this goes. 4429. So this is where we are right now. What you can do is for sure put a pitchfork here. Kind of line up the bottom area to see the angle of what's happened already here. There's a pivot here, a little touch there. So you line that up like that. And that's one thing you could do. And then it's not finalized yet, but you could also kind of anticipate this one. And from there, you can kind of see what's going on. Right now, this is pivoted a couple times. It hasn't hit the median line yet, so maybe there's going to be a case where this comes up and touches the median line. And, you know, ironically, it could be at the previous high. So that could be an area where that could, you know, happen. Now I'm going to turn this one off. Actually, until we need to, I'm going to take away this one because it's not really in play. So again, this is actually calling for a sale sell of ADA once it hits this price. So there's some targets down here once it comes up to here. So we can kind of see where it is now by checking out the fib retrace on here. So it hasn't hit the 6.5 or 6.18. If it breaks through there, then chances are it's going to go higher. We might see some resistance here and it might push lower, and the algos might try to bring it back down to here. But with all the positive news, I know there was a sell-off here. It's probably buy the rumor, sell the news. So that might be what happened here. But as more people get the ability to buy it when it goes to the general Coinbase member base, it should be a higher demand again. So I personally see this going back higher. But you can't disregard this fib retrace and the fact that it's touching. You can see right now, just like we look for the retrace to go higher, same thing happens on the downside. You see how it touched the 0.55 and reacted. So and it bounced off of this. So you can kind of see how these pitchforks really help you kind of see where things are going. The important thing we need to see is we need to see it break through. We need to see the breakthrough of this level. If it breaks through this level, then it has a clear path higher. So this is, if you're in a trade right now, this could be an area where you might want to consider selling, because it could find resistance here and turn back down. You could see some wicks here, some wicks up, wicks down, some support here. So this is certainly an area of support right now. So it falls right on the 6.18. So if you're in a trade and you're looking for it to go higher, this might be one of your targets to get out right now, just in case, or at least get rid of some of your position and lock in a profit, because it could turn and go south. Now, I'm a bull, so I'm hoping it doesn't, but you have to be honest with yourself and realize that, it could happen the other way as well. So it's really all, just wanted to kind of clear up this chart. This is all I see right now regarding this pattern. If this pattern completes, then that means price will come up to this area. And then once it hits this area, then there's going to be a higher probability for it to turn around. So when this pattern completes, it's a negative bearish pattern. So there's going to be targets down here for that. So we'll see how this plays out. And as it gets closer here, we'll talk about some downside targets and just kind of see. So really, that's all I see right now for this. There's nothing, it's gone up fast. It's gone up a lot. It's retraced. But just realize how much Cardano has moved since November. I think I heard another YouTuber saying that in November we could have got this really cheap. Let's see what it was in November. Yeah, look, just in December or November or December timeframe, you could have got it between 10 and 15 cents. So it's at $1.30. So it's almost done 10x. So just, the pullbacks are good. It's needed to strengthen Cardano at these levels. Consolidation, sideways action is always a good thing in preparation for the next move higher. So let's see how this plays out. I just wanted to clean up this chart, and now we'll move on to Bitcoin. Same thing with Bitcoin. This chart has gotten pretty messy, so I think it really calls for some cleanup. I just want to get rid of some of this stuff. Let's just start over. It's always nice to see how your patterns that you suggested are playing out in the past, but when the chart comes so messy that you can't understand what the heck is going on anymore, it's time to clean it up. Clean it up, start fresh, get a good set of eyes on it, and see where we stand right now. So again, if you're interested in all this information that I'm deleting, just look back at other videos on my channel related to Bitcoin, and you'll see, what these are all about. But for now, let's just focus on clearing up the chart and setting up what's happening right now. So right now, there's it suggests the price is going to go higher, but then when it hits the target, it's also saying it's going to come down lower. So let's just kind of, let me get rid of these. So this is a bearish target, a bearish pattern, but it's also suggesting it's going to go higher before it goes lower. All right, so this is where we are right now. This is suggesting that price will, when it comes up here, is going to be there's going to be a sell-off when it hits approximately 65.3. Say 65.4. Once it comes up here, there's going to be negative bias and it's going to become bearish. But we have from here to there to trade this thing higher. And again, just like all the charts I've been showing you recently, you can throw on a pitchfork, can align it to the price action that we're currently seeing, right? And we could see it's already hit the median line, touched it almost exactly. Touched it exactly, you see that? So again, I mentioned it in the other videos, but when you put the pitchfork on here and you see a 15% or greater pull away from the pivot, there's an 80% chance that it's going to go to the median line. So that already happened, but you can see this pitchfork seems to be a pretty good one because there's a lot of action on the fib lines. It touched the median exactly. It touched that one, came close to touching that one exactly. Some action around here. So this seems to be a pretty good pitchfork for this current price action. And then the other thing you could do is you could put on the anticipated other pitchfork that will be existing later on in life when it hits this D. So you could kind of let's kind of see where things are headed. Nothing really else to show here other than there seems to be a little bit of a triangle pattern showing up in here too that I'm seeing. If you draw it like this, maybe it goes to there. This could be a triangle pattern in development here as well. So we got the pitchfork. You can kind of see, and let me get rid of this one because the D didn't happen yet. But you can see how the pitchfork, the triangle is kind of lining up with the bottom of the pitchfork, and these two peaks appeared a couple, like at least 3 touches right there. So this is a pattern within the pitchfork. So we might see some resistance over here. It might be a breakout. So play the breakout. If it breaks out, certainly an area of sell is going to be at the previous high, right? Bring this back to here. That's going to be a resistance area. Depending on where this breaks out, you'll have some room for profits. So that's really it. You don't know if it's going to break up or break down, but you do kind of have an idea, but using the tool here to measure this base from pivot high to pivot low. Take that and you bring it over here. Again, we're getting back to our $68,000 targets. So let me just copy this, keep it simple. That's on the upside, and then if it breaks down, actually this is dependent on where it breaks out. So the earlier it breaks out, the higher this price is going to be. As this tapers down, the lower the price is going to be. So this has got to be something you move based on price action. But one thing you'll have to remember is that there's a pattern that's supposed to form So this might be, you might want to sell some here, and then sell some at the final target. Those are kind of like the upward side targets that you can consider. And then on the downside, I didn't realize I still had these in here, but let's go. On the downside, certainly you're gonna, the pattern target, wherever that ends up being, and then just like the top side, you're gonna see some hesitation over here at this pivot. So, depending on where this breaks out, this could be a first sell. Close out some of your profits here, and then of course the target of the pattern is down here. So you're going to want to consider taking some profits there. And then as this gets closer, what you'll want to do is you'll want to look a little closer at previous points of resistance and support. This seems to be one right here. Somewhere in this area. So that might be another area you might want to take in some profits. All right, so that's how I would kind of analyze this, and now I'm going to wait for the break up or the breakdown. Personally, I don't trade breakdowns. I'm not bearish. I'm just looking to see if it does a break up. If it breaks up, then these are the areas where I would consider taking some profits, at the previous all-time. And then at the pattern that hasn't formed yet, but if it does form, it's going to be a bearish. It's anticipating it retracing after it hits that level. And then finally the pattern target. So 3 higher, 3 lower. Those are what I would see on this trade when it breaks out of this triangle. All right, so next one, Ethereum. All right, again, looking at this, it's become a mess, right? You can't really even tell what's going on anymore. Let's clean it up. Let's just clean it up and see. This head and shoulders pattern doesn't seem to be playing out. It's still within this larger triangle, so I might leave that there. Maybe not. Maybe I'll just clean this all up. Let's see where we are. Yeah, let's just get rid of it all. This is already kind of played out already. So it's always good to clean it up, because it gets so messy after a while, you don't even know what you're looking at anymore. Let's get rid of these. I don't know what this is from. Alright, that's clean enough. Let's take a look at Ethereum now. This has already been played out, so let's get rid of all that. Alright. Let's zoom in. Oh, some more left over here yet. Okay. I'm even going to get rid of the MAs. Alright, so there's a pattern called the crab on Ether here on the 4 hour. And just like the other ones, it hasn't played out yet. But by seeing these and putting these on the chart, you can kind of see that there's positive momentum on the upside here. So it could kind of give you, like, hey, if this pattern is going to actually materialize, that means, the price of Ethereum can go up to 2097. And then, like I've showed you the last two charts, you can put the two pitchforks on here. Kind of see where things are headed. You could see again, based on it touching down here. See some good reactions again already. It's already it missed. Actually, I think it missed the median line, but actually has not touched the median line yet. I mean, I guess one can argue that maybe, no. If you touch this, the median line has not been hit, so it's still gonna try to get to the median line. So that's the latest on this one. Again, there seems to be a little bit of a triangle pattern here as well. Very very similar to Bitcoin, as you've seen over the last couple of videos I've made, where well, this one looks like it might have broken out already. So not a lot of volume though, so you gotta kind of take it by ear. Really don't think it's this. Could be. Let's leave it like this. Let's see if volume comes in. Let's see what happens here. Target's measured from here down to the lower pivot. So if this was a breakout, this is where it would be headed. It's certainly within reach of this D, which is once price action hits D, the pattern's suggesting that it would become bearish. So if you're taking this trade, again, some areas of targets you can consider is over here at the previous peak. The pattern target, and then finally the harmonic target. So these are the three upside targets, and if this is confirmed and there's some more volume coming in, then we might see these hit. So this is really all I gotta say there. I don't think, basically the fact that it's breaking up already, I'm not even going to talk about downside targets. As always, you're gonna see some resistance. So the pattern target actually is mapping up to basically just about where the all-time high is. So it's interesting. It's funny how confluence happens, right? Like you don't even, I wasn't even looking back here, and I drew out the pattern, I drew out the target, and when you measure it, it looks like, it's going to be coming up to the all-time high. So it might become a double top. We've seen this in other patterns happen. So again, just consider these couple areas of sales if you want to scale out, move up your, do your risk management, move up your stop losses that I've talked about in all my videos. We'll see what happens. We'll come back to this maybe over the weekend and see how it's playing out. And then there was Link. All right, same thing here. Big mess. Big mess. It was good while it lasted, but we got to clean this up. Okay. Let's just turn off this EMA. All right. So same thing on Link in the 1 hour chart. New pattern showing up. It's called the cipher. It's right in here. And it hasn't been hit as well. Pretty close, but has not been touched yet. So it's suggesting that price action could still go a little bit higher up to D. Again, once it hits D, it's going to be downward. Same thing. Do the same thing here. So really all we got to go by here is either we could assume that they touch like that. A lot of times you kind of just leave it like that because it's anticipated that D is going to be coming in. So until we have more information, we could kind of just continue tweaking this as we see the price action develop. So like over here, it's going to be, a decision point for it to decide which way it's going to go. Is it going to follow this downward path after it hits D? Or is it going to continue in the up channel? So really that's all I see right now for Chainlink. I don't see any patterns. Yeah, I don't want to force any patterns. I don't see anything else right now. So we'll have to come back to that, but we'll see how this plays out. And once new patterns start showing up, maybe in the 4 hour, do we see something different? I mean, and it just seems to be kind of like in a consolidating mode, up and down through sideways channel. Yeah, I don't know, this big burst out here with when Grayscale announced they were going to add it, I believe, kind of threw the technical analysis on the charts for a loop here. I guess you could say, there was a breakout there in a test, and it could be going higher. I guess you could draw somewhat of a channel over here. So we could kind of check out what's happening. I mean, this could be a bull flag. So take that and measure it here. Come up with a suggested area, possibly up here. Go up to a higher time frame. Let's see what we see. The higher time frame looks like it might be in a triangle. Some type of triangle here. Yeah, I'm gonna just wait. It's gonna get cluttered again if I throw too much on here. So yeah, this is all I really see right now is a pattern that hasn't played out yet. We got some pitchforks on here. We can see which way things are going. As new patterns show up, I'll do another video and kind of see where this is headed. We'll see if it touches the D and then goes south, or if it ignores this pattern. Not all these patterns play out, so this is not a complete pattern yet. This is just a pattern that can be completing. And I sometimes use these like, all right, well, if this pattern is going to play out, that means that price action is going to have to go up to D or somewhere around D. So if you see other reasons to get into a trade, then this might be, it might be telling you a picture that hasn't happened yet. Let's check something out real quick. Go from here to here. Okay, so yeah, we're at the 168 here now, and we're getting kind of rejected. So if this plays out, that means it has to go to 786, which means that it's a very deep retracement. And a lot of times once it hits that, it just keeps going higher. So let's just see how this plays out. Right now you can see there's actions happening at the 6.5 and the 6.1. And right now it's looking like it might be pushing back lower. So that's it for Link. That's the latest on Link. We'll loop back to this set of charts over the weekend. And I'll put some timestamps in here. If you're already watching this, then you know that. But I'll put some timestamps so you could jump ahead to each one of these discussions. So consider subscribing to my channel, clicking the little bell. Make sure you do that. You'll be alerted to the giveaway once I hit 2,000 subscribers. Have a great weekend, and I'll be putting out some more videos over the weekend on other cryptocurrencies. So stay tuned. Take care.